policy, or SSDP. The war on drugs is typically backed up to protect the young people. And I think because of that, it's really incumbent on us as young people to say, you know what, no more. Not in our name. Stop fighting this war in our name. And it's really up to us to put an end to this war on drugs once and for all. The war on drugs is increasingly becoming a war on the youth. If you look at the data out there on who's actually arrested for drug possession, over 50% of marijuana-related arrests in this country are people under 29 years old. The Higher Education Act takes away financial aid for students with drug convictions. We have the Office of National Drug Control Policy paying for commercials which are full of lies. I think it's safe to say that most people look at an anti-drug commercial and know it's full of lies. In America, we have over 5% of the world's population and about 25% of the world's prisoners. We rank first in per capita incarceration in the world. We have more people in prison right now for drug-related offenses than in all of Western Europe for all offenses combined. And Western Europe has over 100 million more people than we do. We're talking about the highest rate of incarceration in the history of democratic society. The highest rate of incarceration in American history. And what's the number one thing driving that? The war on drugs. Drugs today are cheaper, stronger, and easier to buy than they were 40 years ago before the war on drugs was started. The prohibitionist model we are using now is directly comparable to alcohol prohibition, and it is a total failure. Every time a person is shot or killed because of a dispute or because of a police raid gone wrong, that person is not killed because of drugs, they are killed because of prohibition.
That's right.
Just ask Derek Kopp, the Grand Valley State University student who was shot last year in the chest by an officer executing a search warrant on his apartment. The unarmed student was shot in his apartment with just over a few grams of weed. Thankfully, Derek is still alive, but countless lives are lost to the war on drugs every day. The drug policy reform movement, we're essentially the new social justice reform movement on the block. We are the movement today that is growing faster than any other, that is fighting for individual freedom, that is fighting for social justice and human rights, that is fighting for compassion and public health. And we stand on the shoulders and in the footsteps of other movements of social justice that preceded us. The gay rights movement, the movement for civil rights, the movement for women's rights, and even the movement to abolish slavery and the slave trade. Every one of them was a movement for individual freedom. Every one of them took on vested interests. Every one of them took on, every one of them took on a movement that played into people's fears about women and children. Every one of them had to start with virtually no resources and claw their way to power. But ultimately they triumphed, just as we will, because we're fighting for what is right and we're fighting for what is just. 3/4 of Americans believe that the war on drugs has failed, and 3/4 of Americans want to continue doing the same thing. They haven't been presented with other options. This is our chance to do just that. If you're interested in joining or starting an SSDP chapter, please visit ssdp.org or come find me. And have a great and happy 420, everybody. Thank you.